What's going on, video game voting Vanguard? Your boy P City Substance here. We have another episode of $20 Tuesdays. $20 Tuesdays. The budget's $20. We're adding to the collection, whether it be games, consoles, collectibles, you have it. So, as you all know, the past few episodes we've been taking trips to Gamestop. We're picking up games for the 4 for $20. If you're not familiar with the Gamestop 4 for $20, that's any pre-owned game $9.99 and under qualifies to get 4 of those games for $20. So let's get right to it. So the first game that I picked up was for the Wii U. I'm looking to expand that library as well. Picked up the Smurfs 2. I know it's kind of a lighthearted, easygoing game, but it's a platformer, so it's kind of my style. I always try to I've been trying to basically step out of my comfort zone a little bit and try some different games. So basically, about this Smurfs 2 game. It is a 2D platformer. It was released in 2013, which is basically based on the same film that came out in 2013. It came out on the Wii U, of course, the Wii, the 360, and the PS3. You can play either solo or you can play co-op with friends. Exclusively for the Wii U, you are able to play with a 5th player with them using the gamepad, along with 4 other additional controllers that you can connect with the Wii U. So that was definitely pretty cool, probably back then. I don't see myself doing that. Maybe with the kids, we'll see. It also included over 30 levels of gameplay in the story mode, and also 6 different worlds. So we'll give it a check that out right now. You guys should be seeing footage as it's playing, and I'm introducing it. So check that gameplay footage out. Can't wait to see what's what with that game. Next game I picked up was for the Wii. This is Nickelodeon's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This was a game based on the same series that was on Nickelodeon in the year 2012. It was released October 22nd, 2013. Released by Activision. It's a beat 'em up game, kind of reminiscent of the classic Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade game, who probably every gamer, I would say 30 and over, is probably familiar with. I do remember that vividly. It was one of my classic games. That's kind of what led me to get it, because Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, let's be honest, is a big part of my childhood. So I decided to check this out. So when I seen it, I automatically grabbed it. Also, they made a 3DS version that was bundled with another game, which is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Master Splinter's Training Pack, which was released on November the 3rd, 2015. So it came out a couple years later. Fortunately for this game, as far as the critics are concerned, it got some pretty bad reviews, but I'm going to check it out. You guys, of course, will be seeing this gameplay as I'm speaking. So I don't know. I mean, it's a beat 'em up, and they're more critical than I can be with games. So I don't really view games like that. It's gotta really, really be bad for me to call it bad. So we're gonna check this game out. Glad to have that added to the collection. Next game we picked up here, and to be completely honest, I'm looking at GameStop. I see this case, and then that automatically caught my attention. Let me show you the case. Look at that. It's a hard case. This is the backside. You guys should probably know what that is by now. It's Resident Evil 5 for the Xbox 360. Comes with 2 game discs. You can see that right there. And I was just completely intrigued by this hard case. That's the first thing that caught my attention. I'm not even going to lie to you. And that was the reason why I got it. I was like, I got to have this case. And so that was a big thing that led me to it. So let's get into talking about the game. Of course, we're going to show you footage of the game, a little bit of footage. This was released in March 13th of 2009. It was also released for the PS3, Windows, Android TV, PS4, and Xbox One. It is a third-person shooter. It's the 7th installment of the series. It sold 7.4 million copies to date. Probably a little higher from this since this video is taking place. The plot about this game, it takes place 5 years after Resident Evil 4. Chris Redfield and Shiva Alomar have to apprehend Ricardo Irvin before he sells a bioorganic weapon on the black market. So I'd imagine that weapon is some form of like weapon of mass destruction, probably cause some major problems, I would imagine. So, yeah, I can't wait to check that out. I'm definitely a fan of Resident Evil series, as a lot of people are. It's a popular series, and I'm completely in love with that case. See, it says Resident Evil 5, so I can't wait to add this over there with the rest of the games in my collection. This case is so awesome. So let's move on. This next game, I came across it. I don't know how I came across it, and let me give you guys a idea of how I shop when I go on Gamestop for pre-owned games, that is. So when I'm shopping in there, I'm looking for the actual case, meaning like the cases that I show you, so I can show the video game Voted Vanguard, as well as how it looks on my collection. I'm very anal about stuff like that. Pause. I'm very anal about stuff like that, where I like the look of a collection and it being in its original case and form. So that's one thing that I look for. So if it doesn't have the case, 9 times out of 10 I'm not buying it unless it's a very, very particular game that I want, and I'll probably eventually look online to try to get my hands on that case. But 9 times out of 10 I'm not going to buy it without the original case. So this third game I picked up is for the PS3. And it's very interesting. I don't remember coming across anything like this, and probably because I wasn't looking for it. But this is an Ultimate Action triple pack. This is 3 award-winning games on one disc, all released by Square Enix. Just Cause 2, Tomb Raider, and Sleeping Dogs. Now, I remember having Tomb Raider on the PS4. So I know I played a little bit of that game, but I thought that this was very awesome that they have 3 games included on one disc. I think that's pretty awesome. And I was trying to find the significance of that, and apparently because they're all released by right there in that bottom corner, Square Enix. You see if the light ain't blocking it. So honestly, that basically grabbed my attention, because it's like, that's awesome to get 3 games, even though it's one case. But needless to say, so let's get into the games. It was released on August. Well, Sleeping Dogs. Let's talk about that one first, because it's going to be different release games. So I'm going to talk about each game individually and not the action triple play release as a whole. So Sleeping Dogs was released August 14th of 2012. Also released on Windows 360, PS3, PS3 and 4, and Xbox One and OS X. It was an action adventure beat 'em up. The story is set in Hong Kong, and it follows Wei Shang, I'm probably saying that wrong, who's an undercover police officer who was assigned to infiltrate the Sun On Yu Triad organization. So beat 'em up, that's kind of right up my alley, and especially an action adventure. So I can't wait to check that out. You guys are going to be seeing game footage of that. Also, so the next game, Just Cause 2, was originally released March 23rd, 2010. It is a single-player action adventure, third person. It's not really a shooter, I guess, but I guess it kind of is. Open world format. You play as a major operative, Rico Rodriguez, whose goal is to overthrow island dictatorship of, I'm probably saying this wrong, Panau, I guess that's how it's pronounced. Forgive me. Let me know in the comment section if I'm mispronouncing that. I'm pretty sure I am. So I can't wait to check that out. We see footage of that as well. That's pretty cool. And last but not least, of the trilogy is Tomb Raider, which was released March 5th of 2013. It's an action adventure, single player, Windows. It was released on Windows, PS3 and 4, Xbox 360 and 1, OS X, Linux, and Shield TV. So basically, this game takes place when Lara Croft is basically untested and she's not really battle ready. So she's on this island, which is called Yamati, with herself and her friends, and she must save, of course, herself and her friends, all while being hunted by a malevolent cult. I'm probably saying that wrong too. The interesting thing about this particular game in general was something that I didn't even know. Sold 11 million copies to date. It sold 1 million copies in 48 hours, and this makes this Tomb Raider game the best selling of the Tomb Raider series to date, which is something that's very intriguing. And I know there was a lot of anticipation about it. I can't remember the last one that came out prior to this one, but I imagine it's been some time. And of course, you guys know that Resident Evil is a very big franchise, especially obviously for Sony. So, you know, that had a lot of people in anticipation before it was actually released. So that was definitely interesting. Something I didn't know. Of course, again, I have that original game in my collection. I have the definitive edition, which I never finished. So maybe this will give me a chance to go through and finish this game. I got so many games. I just got to kind of pick one and decide. And maybe when I'm doing my stream, I'm doing one a week or something like that. It's simply not enough time. So I don't know. I can't wait to check that out. Of course, you guys will be seeing footage of all those games. So let me know what you guys think about the recent trip to GameStop and my pickups. Do you own any of these games? What do you think about the games? Let me know down in the comment section below. I also need you to do me one favor. If you have not yet done so already, please hit that subscribe button right below this video and subscribe to the Video Game Votery channel. I would appreciate it. Thank you for everything, all the likes. Check out the website, thevideogamevotery.wordpress.com. Also, check out the Video Game Votery podcast, which is the audio from each episode. It is available on all podcast platforms right now. Check it out. Don't forget to rate the episodes. If you rate them high on Apple, they will domino effect on the rest of the podcast and bring us up, and would like to eventually get to that front page, if not higher. Let's just try to build this Vanguard up so that we can start moving forward and progressing. So I'd appreciate it. We're going to end the episode on that note. This has been another episode of $20 Tuesdays. This is your boy P City Substance, and this is the Video Game Voter.